Airbrush tutor?
Your airbrush kit is like your own little rescue toolkit. You should have all your spares and important little tools in this kit, plus any little things you need for your airbrushes to keep it working. For anything that could possibly fail, you want to have in this kit. The one that I'm about to show is a very simple solution I've come up with, which contains spare needles, tips, erasers, scalpels, blades, Teflon tape, etc. Basically a kit that should have the necessary contents to save you should a problem arise with your airbrush. Look Warren, the reason that you're going to need to have your airbrush kit available is because when you're out somewhere doing a job, or even at home, something is going to go wrong and you want to be completely prepared so you can sort that problem out in a matter of seconds. Get yourself one.
So the box is, well, it's just a plastic box. I think it's actually a tackle box, or just a fishing box, not to be confused with wedding tackle. What do I keep in there? Got a heap of pencils in my little airbrush kit. Now some of these pencils are actually Perfection, those German Perfection erasers, and they're just if I ever need to do any sort of erasing. Got a heap of pencils here, and they're all different strengths, sort of from 6H to 2B. Yeah, whatever you want, it's your personal preference, but it's for tracing out or if I ever need a pencil, which you commonly do. Also have a chalk-based highlighting pencil. So for any highlights that you do in chalk, for example.
Where can I buy all this stuff?
Look on the internet.
I am on the internet.
Jump on Google and if you need any particular piece, type it in the search bar and look for it. It's the best place that you're going to find it. eBay, Amazon, anything like that.
Yeah, Amazon's good.
Yeah. Fruit?
No, not just yet.
No worries, mate.
And I've got a Chinograph, a wax-based white pencil, and another chalk pencil. I have two because I've got one spare for no particular reason. Actually, I'm just looking now and one's a number 1, one's a number 2, so there's a difference. Lordy knows what it is. There's also an electric eraser and a scalpel in there. The electric eraser is, yeah, for any sort of strong highlights. That's really all I use it for. If you really want to rub the paint out, that's what I'll use. And that's another thing that I keep in my kit.
Why do you use that box?
Because it's plastic, it's durable, it's see-through, and it's a fishing tackle box. So it's basically got different sections inside of it.
Oh yeah, right.
That you can put your little things, and it allows you to organise all of your stuff into one place.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, thanks mate, I appreciate it.
Yeah, that answered my question in a very succinct way.
Is it succinct or succinct?
In a very succinct way.
Scalpel, it's handy in so many situations. If you ever need to cut out little colour cards, or if you need to cut masking tape, cut plumbing tape, any sort of cutting, you use your scalpel. And to accompany that, I have a heap of little scalpel blades. So these can be used for erasing as well. You'll notice, if you can see that they're actually curved blades. They're medical grade scalpels. So yeah, didn't even study to be a doctor and I've got the scalpels, so that's good.
Where'd you find it?
Kmart, yeah. So these are available at sort of Kmart, Walmart, any stores ending in Mart.
What about Bottle Mart?
Probably not.
Got some spare batteries for my eraser, as I've got a rescue kit in case there's trouble. Spare batteries if the eraser runs out of batteries. I've got another couple of different types of erasers, a malleable eraser, which you can sort of mold into whatever shape, and it's good for soft erasing. Got a pencil eraser here. When you've got 36 pencils in your kit, it's good to have an eraser somewhere, so I've got an exam grade one. That's definitely not a necessity. I don't even know what that means. Did I call that an eraser? So a pencil sharpener. Little tip, there's no such thing as exam grade sharpness.
So it's a bit like a first aid kit for your airbrush.
That's right, that's exactly what it is, mate. Ever get in trouble and you've got everything you need in this one handy little box.
I keep a couple of cup links in my kit as well, because if you go out on a job or something like that, you're not going to know what type of couplings they actually use. Actually, these are called Nitto, but I was about to say no one knows what their fittings are actually called. Couplings. I've got some Super Lube, and that's silicone-free lubricant. So purpose for that is just, it's urethane-friendly lubricant. Plumbing tape. Plumbing tape, one of the most important things that you can have in your kit because it seals air leaks. So if you have to put on another coupling, you'll have to use some plumber's tape first. If you've got thread sealant and you can fit it in your kit, great, use that. But if not, you need plumbing tape. And plumbing tape can also be cut up with your scalpel to go onto an airbrush head or something like that, and you can seal the thread. Perfect.
How much is all that going to cost?
The contents of this kit cost me about 25 bucks.
Oh, that's
$25, yeah. Yeah.
Spare scalpel blades. I have old needles, such as that, in case I want to poke anything, really. That's about all that needle's good for now, poking. And the last thing is just spare parts for your airbrush. So for example, I have a couple of heads here for the Badger Renegade Chrome. You should have all sorts of spare parts, but I would recommend having a head assembly and needles ready to go. Just depending on what type of airbrush you have is what's going to decide the type of parts you need. And that's it.
Why do I need this kit?
Didn't we answer that? Oh, I'm pretty sure we covered it.
Did I do all these ones?
And one last thing that I've got in there is a little bit of sandpaper. Believe it or not, the white stuff here it's from the electrical razor. So I just use that to sharpen my eraser. Just in case you ever need it on a job and someone doesn't have the right type of sandpaper, use that. I've got 800 and 1200 grit in my kit. And this is an apple. Now that's good for eating. If it fits in your kit, great, but I wouldn't suggest keeping it in there for too long. I like to have lots of fresh fruit around, so plum and kiwi fruit.
I haven't got any more questions.
Thank God for that. Having your kit means that you can get yourself out of trouble if something goes wrong. The best solution would be to have one of each of the available spare parts for your most commonly used airbrush or airbrushes. If you don't already have a kit, get yourself one. Because when the time arises, you can have all your tools and equipment ready to go and know exactly where it is.